Do you remember this? Well, now let's meet the little one that sounds almost just as good. Thanks to our sponsor, Bob Keys. Now, Bob Keys has got Windows 10 Pro right now on sale with our coupon code TS25. You're not going to get 25, you're actually going to get 30% off until the end of December 15th, bringing Windows 10 Pro down to $12. Home is $13. And then you can get 2 copies of Windows 10 Pro for $21. And then you can also get Office for a very good deal. So be sure to use coupon code TS25 to get that 30% off. All the links are in the top of the description. And remember, it's still going to be 25% off on December 16th. But until the 15th, you're going to get 30% off. So head over to bobkeys.com and use our coupon code. So this is the SoloCast microphone, a very small and sleek microphone from HyperX. The idea here is to sort of cut out all of the features that you don't need if you're just streaming or if you're the only one using the microphone. You know, not like doing an interview across a desk or trying to get an omni of the whole room of 5 people talking around the table playing D&D. You just need you and the mic. So this one only has one pickup pattern, and that's cardioid. Whereas if you grab something like this is the Quadcast RGB quad because it has 4 pickup patterns. You've got bidirectional for across the desk. You've got stereo for side to side. It's got omni for everything around the room, and then it also has cardioid. Since I've been using a lot of these mics, I almost never change my polar pattern. I just keep it on cardioid because that sounds the best for one person speaking directly to the microphone. If you're going to be doing interviews and stuff like that, raise your budget a little bit, get a different mic like the Quadcast. But if you're going to be streaming or just using something to improve your voice while you're chatting, this is a pretty interesting option also because of the desk space that you're going to save with something like this. Let's talk about what I like and also what I don't like about this microphone. But already you can hear how it sounds. Before we go any further, I want you to hear something else because in this price range, a few corners are cut. It's completely metal, which is beautiful. A nice footprint on the desk and also a really nice build quality, but there is no shock mount whatsoever. So if you're going to be buying this for $59 and you're not going to spend any extra money, $20, $30, $40 on a microphone stand or a boom arm or a shock mount or something like that, here's what's going to happen when you type. Let me just type a few things. When I tap the desk. Now you can put a high pass filter on this in post-processing or an OBS or whatever, and that will cut down on a lot of the super low rumble. It might make your voice sound a little bit tinnier, but still. Or let me click on some things really close to this. I'm clicking like a freaking caveman, but you get the idea. So just know that going in. I pretty much don't recommend using this if you're using it on the same desk that you're also going to have your hands and also going to have your mouse and keyboard and your other peripherals. They also said that you could put it up by your monitor. So let's listen to it in a couple different places and then we'll go through the specs. I want you to just hear it first. So if you're really trying to save some space, check this out. Very easily, I'm going to move this. We can do a 45-degree angle, or we can do a 90-degree angle. All right, so I moved the microphone back about where it would be if like the monitor was right here. And I'm gonna bring it up a little bit because that makes the volume go down a little bit lower. So this is about how it's gonna be if it's about 2 feet away from you, 3 feet away, if you're hanging out, leaning back in your chair and stuff like that. It's gonna have to come up in volume. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually yelling right now, is I'm gonna go ahead and open up my volume settings here by going to my sound control panel by clicking on 16 different things to get there, thanks Windows 10. And then I'm gonna go to my microphone, and you can see my levels here are at 73. Let's bring it up a little bit and see what we're doing in Open Broadcaster. Disable the preview so you don't have to see that. And you can see right now our levels in Open Broadcaster are still a little bit low. Let's bring it up a little bit more. I don't like bringing it up this high. This makes me very uncomfortable. It's too far away. So I'm not sure. You let me know how it sounds. I haven't heard it back this far away, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it forward again. And now I'm going to bring the volume back down a little bit to about 75. There we go. Much better. So this makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I like to keep it in that yellow section right there. And also I've got this tilted back a little bit. You can adjust the positioning of the mic, but I want it to be facing upright so I'm at least speaking into the microphone. Now at this price range, those features are pretty cool, but the idea of keeping it on my desk is just not something I'm willing to do unless, like I said, you run a high pass filter to get rid of some of the lows. When I tap the desk. Now you can put a high pass filter on this in post-processing or in OBS or whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's go into the specs, and then I'm going to actually do something interesting. I'm going to compare it with this other microphone that's about the same size that I picked up in Taiwan at an OEM festival. So just to give you an idea of, the different sound quality, because this one would probably end up retailing for, a couple dollars cheaper, but about the same. All right, so this is compatible with your Mac, with your Windows PC, and it's also compatible with Linux. It's not on there, but I'm sure you plug it into Linux. It's just plug and play. It should work just fine. So it should work with Linux, not guaranteed or listed on here. It's also compatible with the PS4. So you'll sound so much better than all your teammates with this. It plugs in with USB Type-C, and it's USB 2 because it's silly to be USB 3 with the bandwidth that you're going to need right here. It's just USB 2 is fine. The cable length is 2 meters. The microphone itself is 261 grams. So if you're just attaching this by itself to a boom pole or a mic arm, that's what you're going to need to worry about. The microphone stand here is 125 grams, pretty much irrelevant in my opinion. Total with the cable and everything else is 429.9 grams. The frequency response range is the human ear range of 20 to 20,000 hertz. And then you might want to put a pop filter in front of this, or just get, like I do, a big furry dead cat and put it on top. That's an industry term, dead cat. I'm sorry to the most sensitive person watching who's going to go and be upset that I said dead cat. So let's try some pop tests, a little beatboxing. Sorry for your eardrums. I apologize. I like to measure this unit right about 12 inches. I was doing centimeters. We're going to measure this. It's 5 inches. 5 inches. This is 5 inches. I've seen big muscly dudes take pills bigger than this. It's like the size of a horse pill, and it's a cardioid condenser microphone. So as you can see, it's really small. Now, if you want to take this out, you just lift it straight out of its case, just with a little bit of pressure. You can unscrew it on the back here as well if you like, and mount this another way. But unless you have a way to mount the entire thing, you're just going to be mounting the microphone itself on the boom arm, so you'll be reliant upon that for this, the 90-degree swivel. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the same spot here, and we're going to go back and forth. Again, this is an unbranded microphone I picked up in Taiwan for less than $20. But the idea is that, you go and put your brand name on it, and they were going to do a metal shell with a little Finnick logo and stuff like that. Couldn't afford to do it, but just to see the difference. And also this one, you'll see what it sounds like. So here we go. This is our microphone that I got at Computex a year or so ago. $20 or so, under $20. This is what it sounds like. The only real difference is they both have mute buttons. This one has headphone output, so whatever. All right, so now let's go back to the SoloCast. Both at the same time. Ah! All right, there we go. There's the SoloCast. And I think that the SoloCast has a much more full sound, so you are getting more sound for the money. Now, the only other feature on here, there's no headphone output. People don't use that, in my opinion. Some people might, but most don't. On the top here, we have this mute button that is just a touch-sensitive button. It doesn't actually depress, so when I come back, and then there we go. The mute button works perfectly, and there's also an LED on the front to tell you if it's muted or not. It'll blink when it's muted. For me, a microphone at this price range it's a pretty good deal because of the sound quality that you're going to get from it. But also, I think in your head, you need to know that you're probably going to want to buy some sort of stand or some sort of shock mount, or you're going to have to be very careful. If you're just doing just chatting, and you're not really typing a lot, you're just chilling and hanging out, using software to chat or something like that, whatever people use these days, Discord, Zoom, God forbid Skype, or if you're doing some streaming in the just chatting channel, don't be drinking that wine, because your hands do this when you drink wine. I'm going to have to mute all of that. It's going to be so annoying, but I want to let you, I'm barely touching, watch. It doesn't like this. It does not like it when you touch the desk. So just in your mind, adjust for that as far as the price goes. There's a lot of generic mics that are showing up. There's a lot of companies out of Asia that are just showing up on the market. and they've got cheaper mics. Don't know if they're quite as good as this one or if the build quality is as good. I need to get some of those in and test because, you know, if you get like a $35 or a $40 mic that sounds 90% as good, and then spend the rest of your money on a shock mount or a little desk mount or something like that, you may end up in a better position than this one with all of the sensitivity to touching the desk. Don't touch your desk. So yeah, if your budget's under 100, you're probably good with this one and a desk mount. That's where I'll leave it. But if you're on an extreme budget, that's my big thing. You gotta factor in the fact that once you get this, you're probably gonna need to spend a little more for some accessories. So that's where I am with the HyperX SoloCast. But otherwise, I think it sounds really good. Just don't touch your freaking desk. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of the audio quality. I'm curious also, what do you think of this little one here? I know it sounds a little bit tinnier, doesn't quite have quite as full of a sound, but you know, for $20 grabbing it in Taiwan, it was like nice in a pinch when we needed a microphone on the go. Also, head over to epicpants.com. Grab yourself one of these sweet t-shirts. I don't know why they're sweet. Goodbye.